Hope that's reasonably on a good angle. So we're setting off from Kelsterton Lane and we're going to head off towards Shotton, aren't we?
Yes.
See if we can capture a bit before it starts to go dark, eh?
Here's the college on your right. It's been known as Kelsterton College, Deeside College. I think it's now called College Cambria.
Pop in and have a quick nose round. There we go. It's getting done up at the moment, as you can see, straight ahead. We did come here last night, but it was a bit dark, so you couldn't really see much that was going on, could you? I used to go to this college. In fact, to be honest with you, I preferred the college to university. I thought the college was very good. Built in the 1950s, wasn't it?
Wasn't it before that?
Well, possibly.
I'm sure it was before the 1950s. There is new parts onto it, been built onto it.
Yeah. My little bike shed there's been there forever. That was there, crikey, back in about 1993. It was probably back there in about 1973. Come round the corner here, we've got the
university courses as well now.
The engineering department, and
the university, Swansea University Centre.
Yeah, they are tied up, aren't they, with NUI, or whatever NUI's called this week. I don't know, it keeps changing its name every couple of days, so I'm not quite 100% what it is now.
It's College Cambria.
No, I mean the university. I'm not sure what that's called this week. They've still got, as you can see there, a couple of aeroplanes. And there's a few cars here. The college does a bit of work on cars. They have like trainees in, fixing them up and what have you. And aeronautical stuff. It's nice to see that still carries on. Motor vehicle workshop just there on the right. Not quite sure what this is on the left.
It's the sports facilities.
Yeah.
Straight ahead is the sixth form, Deeside Sixth Form College.
Yeah.
And here on your left now is the sports centre, and there's a fitness gym called Lifestyle Fitness, open to members of the public. I think it's about £20 a month. And there's also various fitness classes as well as the gym.
I won't nip in there tonight just because we haven't got much light, and I'd like to get through.
Across the way there used to be a ski slope. Dry ski slope, which now has gone, and it's now the former home of the No Man's Corner Ski Football Club, with a running racetrack around the edge of the football pitch, and they do quite a lot of Olympic sports as well on the grass area. And on your left is the canteen and restaurant, and there's also, I think, a big room you could hire out. And then on your left here, this tall building used to be the halls of residence for people who are coming from far away who can stay.
So I can show you what Anne-Marie's talking about there. It's this building here, because you can't actually see it on the camera, unfortunately.
But now
I can't move it while I'm driving.
To Hair and Beauty, and the smaller building on the side is 2 Bucks Danish.
The bobbies are out.
A local police are in force every day of the week.
That's about the second or third one I've seen go past. Quite nice houses along the side of the college here. Always seem to be in good fettle.
Like 1930s style houses. And on your left is the National Grid. So it's a power station. There used to be cooling towers, which they blew up in 1992 and replaced them with a new system, more modern system. The White House on your left, I think, is the oldest house in Connors Key.
I'm just going to dive in here
on
for a
your
sec.
right used to be a petrol station, which is now home to a car wash, which is very good.
Yeah,
And also the new fencing on the other side.
it was Fuster's garage for many years. Oh,
And then on your left is
just bear with me a sec.
the dog park.
I don't know if that's any lighter. It's starting to look a little tiny bit dark. It may still be, but we can give it a go, eh? Everyone's heading home now for the night.
On your left is Deeside Furniture. Do nice furniture and carpets. And stuff. And then on your left is the halfway house, newly refurbished halfway house. It's recently been done up. They do food, drinks, and also they have rooms upstairs for contract workers.
That was a Ford Escort Mark II.
The local nut dog feeding. On your left here used to be a petrol garage. It's now MOT testing place, which is really good.
Ms. Jones.
There was a pub on your left here called the Cross Keys, which is now
On the right.
a car garage. Sorry, on the right. On the right as well was the Swan pub, which has now been turned into flats. And the flats on your left, on the right, sorry, were shops and houses many moons ago, which then got pulled down to become flats.
St Mark's Church on the right.
Also, the Arbin Social Club has now been turned into all people's flats.
Yep.
And then on your left was Golfton School, which has now been knocked down and turned into houses. This white house, or cream coloured house on your left, used to be the doctor's surgery. And he sold off his land at the back to build houses. On your right in a minute was the old bank, which is now bedsits, I think. And I think the vault is still in there. And then on your left is the old drill hole, which have now turned into flats. Was it World War I drill hole?
No, 1939 I think, so it would be World War II.
Down here, this is the oldest pub, or was the oldest pub in Connors Key, the Old Key House, which has now been turned into bedsits, flats. They did remove the bar, I think, but then they had to put it back in because it's a listed building.
I think it's HMO now. There's
a lovely cafe here. This is the Key Waterman Association cafe, doing nice food. You can take it in or out, outdoor area or indoor area. And if you go down the back, there is books of history and pictures from around the area. And you can also hire the room inside if you have a small party.
And the old docks.
Children's party or whatever. And they do have talks and activities in there too. But at the minute, because of the COVID, there isn't any.
No. Now I've done a couple of docks videos, so I might bypass the docks and just head off down to Sharton. What do you think? So do you want to have a look at the docks?
But you can come back.
Yeah, it's just the light is starting to fade a little.
All the lights from across the way from the steelworks. So we get quite a lot of that.
This little road here, I think this was the original dock road. There's a few older buildings here. I think these are the original old dock road buildings. Like one of these was Copax Chandler's. Now I'm not sure, but I think it's that one there on the left with the loading block for what do you call them? Horse and cart.
It's been derelict for donkey's years.
Yeah, but there's a door in the top there, and I think the cart used to stop outside and load up the place. Now I think that one might be the Copax Chandler's, but I'm not 100%. This building across the way used to be a snooker hall, which has now been turned into flats. And also we've got Brown's Furniture Warehouse, used to be a church chapel, and it had things to do with the snooker hall. They now sell furniture and beds and things. Yeah. And then on your left, here it used to be a fish and chip shop called Seaspray, with a giant fisherman on the canopy at the front door. Stead & Simpson's, which is long gone. The Shipping, which is long gone.
Gemini Fitness Centre, and you've got Zara. That used to be the council offices and the bank. I think the ship is closed because of COVID, but it hasn't reopened yet that I know of.
This little Printer's here has been here for quite a long time. Well, he says it's not even a Printer's anymore, but that little building there's been there for a long time. The bargain stores, we've just gone past the music bargain store.
And then on your right, you see some bungalows, like the old people's place. Used to be a hospital called Glanamorfa, and a few people around the area have been born there, but it's now to do with elderly people, houses for them. And then you've got the Custom House, which is closed at the minute because of COVID, but hopefully it'll open again soon. And then on the other side we have a furniture warehouse, which used to be a theatre, cinema a long time ago.
Cenotaph on the video just up ahead.
And the building behind it was originally a white cottage in the middle of a field. I think it was like a building yard, and then they knocked it down and they built a supermarket on there. So it's been Summerfield, Gateway, Co-op, and at the minute it's empty, and just waiting to see what's happened to it next. On your left, on your right, used to be Woolworths, which originally was the Alhambra Cinema and Theatre, and now it's home to Iceland and B&M. And then you have the Clwyd pub, which is the oldest pub in Sharton. And then you have the Central, which is now Wetherspoons, built in the 40s, and it's where all the stars used to stay in the rooms upstairs when the Alhambra Theatre was open. On your left now is the doctor's surgery and the chemist. The chemist used to be a joke shop, and by the lights here, the house there was a Walls sweet shop. And then you have the car park here. Many years ago, there used to be a church in the middle of there. It was a few centuries ago. But there's a car park at the minute. And then you have a building on your left, which is patios and driveways. It used to be a chip shop a long time ago, 60s, 70s. We've got the Esso garage in front of you that has in recent years moved from across the road. You've got Charlie's and Pets at Home and the fitness centre. That's where the garage used to be, along with a B&Q, which has now moved to a bigger store on Sealing Road in Chester. And here you've got the Range, Pizza Hut, you've got Lidl, that used to be a builder's yard. Alf Parry?
George Henry Wright,
George Henry Wright.
I think.
Alf Parry's must have been the White Cottage, that's right, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
And then here you have the Deeside Centre. Also now a field hospital on the side, taking away the skate park. And they have put a field hospital there, ready for the next COVID strike.
Yeah, they're getting ready for the next wave, aren't they, now, of coronavirus?
At the minute, it's rising rapidly. KFC straight ahead, that used to be Irving's shop, cash and carry. And then straight ahead is a bridge, low bridge. It's a railway bridge, takes you Chester, Manchester, London, and then the other way up into Wales as far as Holyhead. If you're going to Ireland, there's a train just going across there now. Looks like either a Manchester train, it's a Virgin train.
Quite a big
and
one,
there used to be a train station here, which is no longer in use, and a Spar shop. Next to the Spar shop, there used to be a cinema, and then the cinema closed. I think they opened it as a club for the kids, but it's long gone, car park now. And then on your left here used to be petrol garage, you now sell cars, and an auction garage as well, which has been there for years, selling cars of all descriptions. And they've got the Harding Castle Hotel, which is no longer in use. There was talk of doing it up, but I think Wilson's Auctions owns it. I'm not sure if it's offices for them, which is a shame. And then you have the Blue Bridge, which used to open. It's got water tanks one each side, which used to fill as the bridge lifted. The water tanks have now been taken away, so the bridge no longer lifts. The Flintshire Hotel, which is now closed down and is going to be turned into flats. And then on your left is the old entrance to the steelworks, which the clock tower, which is no longer in use, but they are doing it up, all the gardens, and they're trying to do the inside of as well, because I think it's a listed building, and they're asking volunteers. If you go on Facebook and have a look, they need help doing various things like gardening and stuff. Down here, on your left, down the road, a basketball sign that used to be a social club. It's recently been knocked down and new houses are being built. It's a sports and social club in the city. And on your left there used to be a conservative club. I think, I'm not sure, it was 90s when it was pulled down. And then there was a hotel next door, and the hotel next door caught fire. So that had to be demolished. And there is plans of rebuilding on there, but I'm not sure what they're going to do. And then on your left is the Leprechaun pub, which is quite popular with the gypsies, because there is a gypsy caravan park just over the road there. And they have like birthday parties and things in there. Down here is RAF Sealand. This is the hangar side, which is no longer here. There are some warehouses, and there's also the Amatola restaurant bar, Indian food. The RAF Sealand, the hangar side, they are building new homes. There is talk of a supermarket, possibly an Aldi, going there, and there was talk, I read, of a hotel with a pub on the side, but I'm not sure about that, because straight ahead is Deeside Industrial Estate, so lots of factories and offices, so the hotel is supposed to do good business.
So far there isn't a great deal up here, is there?
This is the hangar side of RAF Sealand. As you can see, there's
not many hangars.
No longer any buildings, but there is new houses. And there's also going to be a distribution centre here as well for Amazon, which would be quite handy.
Now these are all brand new. These have only been up for days, some of them. But
I don't know whether they've or how do you say the word, excavated the ground, because they have found unexploded bombs a bit further up the road, which the Ministry of Defence have taken away and controlled disposal of them, blown them up. And there's probably all sorts of other stuff as well buried around here, because there's like World War II RAF site, and it's quite a big RAF site. There's on the opposite side of the road, all the buildings are still there intact. It's overgrown because it's not used anymore, but there is like a little engineering factory on the side, and it's still part of the Ministry of Defence, which is they do engineering works there. I'm not sure what they make.
the actual RAF site across the road there has been mothballed for a long time, hasn't it?
There is security patrolling now, with dogs I've seen, but
there's some electronics works going on there.
Closed, but it's a shame really that they can't like reopen it and I don't know, like a history site or something. It'd be nice. These are the old RAF houses on your right hand side here. There is also along the other side of RAF the old buildings. There's the old RAF houses across there as well now. But they're all privately owned. I think some of them are council, but most of them are privately owned.
There's the Leprechaun.
There's the old hotel site.
What I'll try and do when I've got a camera you can walk with that's not too conspicuous like this thing, I'll try and revisit a few places and actually point at them rather than driving along with a fixed camera in the car, because it's difficult to capture everything because you can't really turn it while you're driving, so it makes it a little bit difficult.
The hairdresser's there, long time ago. I think it's the head office for the vet office. And this used to be a petrol station. It's now a car wash. They sell cars. I think there's a car wash in there. They sell cars now, second-hand cars.
Now the daylight is starting to leave us a bit. I might adjust the settings a little if I can, just to.
That's Queensberry School. It's been there for a long time, 1900s, not quite sure, can't see the date, the trees in the way. Got car showings on this side.
Trying to let a little bit more light into the camera, might get a few lens flares off cars and that now, but it's starting to get a little tiny bit dark now. But we're off again. The only problem, see, you work all day and by the time you get home it's getting dark, so you can't really
right
capture
here
it.
there used to be like a little church chapel.
Did there?
Yes.
Crikey, I don't remember that.
It's long gone now, it's overgrown area. I don't know whether they're going to redevelop on it, but it was only a small building.
Is our make the bridge
This
again?
blue bridge isn't the original bridge.
No.
There was a stone bridge. Was it opened by the king?
Yeah, it was to the right.
Yeah,
This,
where
the
the
other bridge.
houses are on your right, like little cottages, it was adjacent with that to the side. But then they got rid of it and built the blue bridge, which, because of the boats going to and from the steelworks and other places, the bridge opened up and it was easy access.
I'm going to let this chap go because he's in far more of a hurry than I am.
Again, there's the bridge in front of you. Used to be steps on the other side going up to the station and platform, which is no longer in use or there. There's the car garage on the other side, which does MOTs and servicing. And when you walk past, you can see the slope going up. And there used to be a door there, I think, as well, part of it. Car park on your right is where the old cinema used to be.
Yeah.
And on your left used to be a bank. It's now a recruitment and training centre. It was that West Bank.
It's a very busy little town. It's Queensferry these days. It's mainly takeaways.
Chip shops. There's pizzas and kebabs. There's KFC and a Domino's and a Subway. I think there's more takeaways than Solar Services, as it's known on your left. It's been there some time. It's now Absolute Comfort Furniture. But Solar Services used to sell electrical goods and also fix electrical goods. And it was a drop-off point if you were going on coach trips. Everybody knew where Solar Services was. Straight ahead is Asda, which was built 90s, 80s?
Asda was 90s.
90s, which on the site used to be a school, which my dad used to attend back in the 1940s and 50s. They got the school closed during the 80s, 90s, 80s, and then they redeveloped the land a bit on Asda. The Asda has been made bigger, and it's open 24 hours, and it's got McDonald's, it's got Thomas Travel, it's got opticians in there, clothes, electricals in there. So yeah, it's been made big as a car wash, and there's a petrol station in there. It's Asda Walmart, so it's part of the American group. On your left, black and white building, is Queensferry War Memorial Institute. Is it First World War?
First World War,
First World War. Well, they have classes in there. They do like swimming build, dog training, dancing. So it's used for various different things. On your left is the fire station. The ambulance station used to be next door, but they've moved to Dobbs Hill into the old hospital. So the fire station has been made bigger. The fire station originally used to be in Connors Quay, and then it moved down to Queensferry into a bigger premises. On your left is Deeside High School, or also known as John Summers, which has recently closed. So they've made Connors Quay High School bigger to accommodate for the people leaving Deeside High School.
Causing chaos apparently as well, because now there's dozens and dozens more cars each morning parking up outside people's houses to drop off the kids. So
behind Charlie's there used to be another high school. Was it Queensferry Secondary Modern or Deeside Secondary Modern? But that is long gone. Oh, I can't remember, was it the 80s or 70s?
There were a few bits of it down Rowley's Drive.
The buildings are still there, but they're used for offices, and there was a doctor's surgery. I think there's an engineering, fixing like electrical goods, and there's used for various things. The old joke shop on your right there is now a chemist.
Jim's Supper Bar, known for many years as Wing War as well.
Jim's Supper Bar is the best Chinese and English takeaway in Deeside. Ask anybody. Up there is my old school, Venerable Morgan Infants, now used for the Variety Club. They've made extra buildings on the junior school called Chester Close, which is the infant school, so it's all one now, infants and juniors. And on your right, just past the buildings, used to be a school which got pulled down. Snethlowood School, and behind that Shotton Infants, which is still there, which has been there for many years. Snethlowood School has moved up to Aston, higher Shotton. The white building building on your left used to be a doctor's, it's also been a dentist. It's now a housing building, selling houses. And on your right, Blush, I think used to be a butcher's. And the two houses which look fairly new, which are not new, it used to be an antique junk shop. And it used to have junk outside and antiques and things. And then on your right here, you've got the tree surgeons. I think it used to be a charity shop or a clothes shop of some description. And Grandma went in there looking at suits. And you've also, on the right, used to be a jewellery shop, a wool shop. It's now a hairdresser's over the years. Got the Boathouse pub on your left here. The front part is now William Hill Betting Office, but it all used to be the Boathouse from back to front. But now they just own the back part. It's a sports bar, but at the weekends they have club music, dance music and things. But in the early days, before the William Hill took over, they used to have live bands on. Here you have the Key Health Centre. So every doctors in Connors Quay is now here in the Key Health Centre. And they've also got a clinic in here too. There's a cafe on the side, you've got the chemist. It was all one building now. And this car park here used to be the market. In the middle was a house, and then round the house used to have market stores of all descriptions. But the market was getting smaller and smaller. I think they were charging quite a lot of money to have your stall, and people with disabilities chambers used to love going to the market. Connors Quay Labour Club on your left, been there for a few years. Looks like they're watching the football there on the telly. But the Connors Quay market was a huge thing every Thursday.
That's Connors Quay Town Council now.
Yeah, it used to be up by the swimming baths. But now that building hasn't gone, and there's a smaller building. On your left used to be Dr. Gavin's surgery. It's now been turned into a house. Dr. Gavin no longer does a surgery, but the Health Centre has all the doctors in there from that surgery, apart from Dr. Gavin's. And on your left is dental practice where I go. Used to be NHS, but unfortunately is now private.
There's a place across the way now called Station Barbecue, and it does traditional Transylvanian cuisine.
Wow.
So get your necks out ready.
That used to be the video shop.
Transylvanian cuisine.
Video shop. On your right is the old Hippodrome. It's still called the Hippodrome, but we sell second-hand furniture. But it used to be a theatre, cinema, bingo hall, and the house with the green door.
Ooh, Little Morgan or something.
Sweet shop. And then I think before the sweet shop it was a fruit and veg shop. And you've got Maud Street on your right here, car park. There used to be 9 houses there. They're called the 9 houses. A little park next door. The 9 houses no longer exists. The car park's still there, and the children's park is also still there. I used to go when I was a kid. This church on your right here belongs now to the Gypsies. They bought it.
Yeah,
and they use it quite often.
They're having in session tonight, you see.
That's why there's loads of cars around.
Cars, vans, 4x4s, etc.
The bargain stores on your left.
Yeah, amazingly still stood up.
And behind there's some beautiful big black and white houses. And you can see over the marshes and things. And then on your left is Zari, which used to be the council offices back in the 70s. And there used to be, here on your right, some police houses, which no longer exist. They've been knocked down.
There's the Hare and Hounds.
Hare and Hounds, yes. There used to be like a coaching for the coach and the horses.
Yeah,
There used to be between the warehouse, furniture warehouse, and the pub, used to be an archway, I think. Maybe where the coaches and the horses went in. This here on your left is the Navy Club. I think it came in the 1950s. But the fields here, there used to be a pond. Was it Reenie's Pond in the middle?
I think so.
It's now a cricket pitch. There's a cricket club, and there's also
just show you where
the Old People's Association.
Show you where the Buckley line
That's
used
still
to
going
be.
on it.
This was where the Buckley line used to be. It's
That's
changed
it.
a little bit now. Railway Terrace now has got a reasonable sized road in front of it. The railway lines though are long gone now.
Railway station for Conisky used to be across the way there.
Just a pussycat prowling area to go and catch mice.
But you can walk down there, down to the river, Dock Road, the River Dee.
There we go. Is it Railway Terrace?
Railway Terrace, because it used to be a railway line. And it used to go up past the Navy Club, up through Conisky, up Mould Road, to Buckley, to North. And you can still walk the Buckley line. Very nice walk, lots of woodlands, little ponds. Nice for taking the dog for a walk or just by yourself.
This is Cable Street. It's really starting to get dark now, so I don't know if it'll really pick up much now, but there's Cable Street.
These are the new flats.
And Court Cable.
Used to be a snooker hall.
Used to be able to actually drive out of Cable Street once upon a time. Many moons ago. Apologies if the video signal's deteriorating now because it's starting to get quite dark and I don't think it'll be coping that well.
Building straight ahead is Old People's place. But it used to be the animal hospital. I think on your left used to be, was it the missionary?
Kingdom Hall, wasn't it? I don't know, I'm not sure.
Yeah, Kingdom Hall. And this on your right used to be a church chapel.
Do you want to have a look?
Okay.
Nothing behind us.
Brown's Furniture Warehouse now own it.
But that's where she means.
Yep. And you can cut through there to the beer garden of the Hare and Hounds.
Where you're guaranteed a pint and a fight. Now I don't know if that building, if I can point the car towards it, I don't know if that building on the end here is Coppax Chandler's or if it's the other one. I'm not quite sure which one's which. I don't know. Oh.
There's no windows in this one.
No, I think one of them was Coppax Chandler's. Yeah, I mean we can try going down the docks, but I don't know if we'll pick much up now because the light really has gone. I could up the ISO a little, but it'll get very grainy. I think we can try it maybe. Maybe there's a little bit of daylight that is ever so slightly left that'll illuminate it a bit. I don't know.
Brand new tyres and used tyres. So we want brand new or used. Go to Kev.
Here we go.
Straight ahead, the blue building across the river is the steelworks. That is the new part of the building. The old part is the black and building. I'm not sure if all of it is used, but most of it is used.
I'm not going to bother going all the way down because it's hardly worth it, to be honest, because the light level is so very low. But there's your steelworks,
which has been there. John Summers. It's been there for a very long time.
Black buildings are very, very old. And
1900s, 1800s.
the blue building's 1970s, I think. Because they built that not long before they got rid of the place.
And then you can see in the distance the bridge to Nowhere, which is the bridge from Connors Quay across the industrial estate. They call it the bridge to Nowhere because it doesn't go anywhere.
No.
They were going to build a bridge in Greenfield, straight across to the Wirral, but for some reason
Just
they
adjust this
decided to
ISO.
build it in Deeside instead. Don't know why. It's handy for me because I got a Chester that way.
They've upped the ISO a little, but I think it'll
There's an old train carriage to the
be a bit grainy.
left. Can't see what it says on it though. Often large dogs run free. They are large dogs, I've seen them, but I'm not scared of them. There's a boat over there. We do have a water festival. I don't think it happened this year because of COVID. Maybe next year.
Yeah, like I say, we'll do some walking videos once I've got something that's a little bit more inconspicuous than a giant SLR, because walking round estates and that with a camera in Connors Quay these days, you're liable to get a cosh over your head, so I prefer something a bit smaller, really. Sign of the times.
Under the railway bridge, which is still in use. There's a bank across the road, they're now like bedsit flats, and they've still got the old vaults in there and safes in there, I think.
Yeah, it's not too late yet, is it, really? It's only
people on the late shift coming out of work.
It's only 7 minutes past 8 now, and look how dark it is. So.
On your left, the house on the corner of the street used to be an old people's home. Then the old people's home closed, so somebody bought it and done it up as their home.
Yeah. I know the gentleman who did the woodwork on there.
And then on your right, there used to be a fella who used to do clocks. So if your clocks were broken, go to him and he can fix them for you. He does it as a hobby at the moment, he doesn't do it as a job anymore. The taxi office here on your right, a white building. It caught fire. I think it was done deliberately as an insurance job. But now it's a home, a multi-block. And all these flats on your left, back in the day there was rows of houses, rows of shops, and for some reason they decided to knock them down and build some beautiful flats. Not. This is a shame. It would be nice to have a few shops. There was butchers, there was fruit and veg shops, there was shoe shops, everything. Council come along, ripped them all down and built some flats. More homes for more people.
Yep. There we go.